what this once proud and profitable company sorely needs. What was once a captivating, trend-setting program has now deteriorated into a cliched, let's be honest, boring snooze fest that is in dire need of a knight in shining armor. Television ratings, downward spiral. Pay-per-view buy rates, plummeting. Mainstream acceptance, non-existent. And reactions of the live crowds, complete and utter silence. You're silent because you're embarrassed to be here. Honestly, I'm embarrassed for you. And the reason why you're embarrassed is because of the steady stream of uninteresting, untalented, mediocre sports entertainers who you're forced to cheer for and care for. No wonder you're not cheering. You can care less about every single idiot in that dressing room.
Now, here's Joe Cronin. Joe Cronin. And Jake DeMarco.
We got Jake in on that one.
Yeah.
What's up, chat? You guys wet or what's going on, man? How you doing, man? How you doing, motherfuckers? What's going on?
Ooh, listen to that. It's turning me up. Freak noise.
Hey, did you like Raw, Jake?
Oh my god, it was so good.
It's weird because I was at
first. It was just top to bottom amazing. Cannot believe how great tonight was.
At first, I thought to myself, I'm like, well, I don't like tonight, but at least they're doing all this different stuff, kind of like, so there's different things. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? What am I talking about? They're not doing anything different. These are the same matches again.
Again, same matches, same feuds. They ruined their debuts. They can't stop shitting on themselves and shooting themselves in the foot. It's ridiculous.
What do you think's up with? What the most interesting thing of tonight was like is
a lot of things just don't make sense. That's the problem too.
Well, that I believe. I'm just saying the most interesting thing I saw tonight was Humberto Carrillo and Sheamus's weird fucking injury.
Oh, that injury botch. Yeah, wow, that looked painful.
I think he ripped
straight down on his knee.
I think he ripped his hamstring.
Something bad happened. He was able to move it and bend it, but that doesn't mean shit at this point. Yeah, that was a bad landing and was not Sheamus's fault. If you really look, Humberto pulled him down that angle.
Well, Humberto's knee looked like it got jammed as it stuck into the rubber, maybe. But and
then he kind of jerked, and then he pulled Sheamus right down on top of it.
The way he was laying flat, though, stiff and weird, and then he was like, oh, like that. That's what made me think, I think he ripped his hamstring. And be like, I don't know, man. Like, not a guy that young.
What would you consider that, a sunset flip, basically?
Yeah, it was like a sunset flip off the...
kind of a destroyer, but not really. You know?
It was a sunset flip bomb off the apron.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And it's like, wow, what a costly landing, high risk. And they didn't know what to do, so Sheamus is great at selling. He sold that impact like it hurt him just as much.
I think it did hurt him because I think he landed on the shin and it rocked his head. I mean, a little bit.
It did rock him a little bit, but I think he sold it much more than it injured him because he figured out what was going on. The referee told him pretty quick, and then he took his time.
What makes no sense, I mean, listen, obviously someone's injured. What makes no sense, though, is like, why weren't they just counting him out, at that point? And now I know the answer is because, and I guess even in kayfabe, right, if you see that a wrestler's injured, you stop the count, I guess. But at the same time, it's like, so if a guy gets hurt outside the ring, the referee should be counting a 10 and counting the guy out and then checking on him. But tonight, he thought the guy was hurt, so he ran out, and then he decided to call off the match and give the match to Sheamus. I don't know, man. Just very strange.
I'm again, the way that they do it, like, I don't mind. I'm in the interest of their safety. So if you're worried about moving him and getting him back in the ring, fine, I get that. But like you said, but it wasn't for the title, right? Was this an open challenge, but it wasn't for the title? Yeah. I was confused by this because of the way that they've done this the past few weeks. Originally, he said, I'm not going to do the open challenge. Then he had an open challenge. then he did. Like, it melted my brain a few times over. I don't know what they were going for, but still, it was, I guess, non-title. Okay, so if it's non-title, this bothers me even less because I know they got to get the trainer out there. It was like basically 10 minutes.
I think
into
it was
non-title.
I thought they were going to have a match at WrestleMania Backlash or whatever.
I thought so, but they originally said on commentary his open challenge.
Oh, right.
So that's why I was confused. But that's Adnan Vark, whatever weirdo. He does not know what he's talking about.
Adnan Bark.
He doesn't. He's barking on the mic. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Thanks, WWE, for hiring a fucking moron on your fucking broadcast. Great.
I mean, I'm a stoned idiot, but this guy, my God, he just doesn't have a clue.
I think he'd be a good backstage guy. Like, I think he's a good, like, announcer guy to be like, guys, we're live before WrestleMania starts, and like I feel like he's that guy. He's very good at that, but he's not the lead announcer from Monday Night Raw.
No, because he has that ESPN characteristic about him. I see what you're saying. So he's good at the interviews. He's a good personality for those type of things. And I think he would be a good sit-down person to get something out of people because I looked into some of his work, and he's done some pretty compelling or at least decently interesting interviews.
Yes.
Thing is, he doesn't know enough about wrestling. So I would not want to be a lead commentator. My memory sucks. I could never, you know what I mean? I give you so much credit for being able to listen and do things on the fly. That's incredible. Well, he just doesn't know enough. He's not well versed in wrestling. And apparently the way he learned what some of the moves were was by going on WWE.com. That's how he learned about the wrestlers. He went to WWE.com. And then after that, he checked out Twitter. That's how he studied.
What the hell?
He told this. He said this live in interviews.
Okay.
That's how he prepared for Raw.
That's one way to do it. I mean, but also another way is to... I mean, that's one way to do it, but also just watching Raw. Like
just go to YouTube or the network or, my God, I'm sure they'd give you a Peacock subscription at this point.
Listen, I would probably...
Go to WWE.com and just look at the roster, the pictures. That's not going to do anything for you.
I would need to polish up a lot of things if I got hired. Like, say, out of nowhere, Road Dogg called me and said, Joe, you got a shot, man. Get to Raw. Get the suit. It's like, I would... I'd be studying for a week, even though I know a lot of things.
The first thing I would do is I would turn on the most recent wrestling game, the create a wrestler mode.
Yeah, and just call it.
That's when you go through all the moves. So this way you polish up on every single name that I can't recall. Like, that's where I would start. And I'd go, you know what I mean? Because that's the easiest way to do it.
Here's the thing, though. It's so much easier than hockey. It's like, dude, in hockey, the lines are changing like crazy, and you got to look at the numbers and see which position where everybody is. But
there's so much more stats and numbers and.
Well, but that's the thing is,
more...
on Raw, dude, you can literally have a printout of the people. Like, it's like all you got to do is make flashcards of the people, and everybody
The thing is, it's predetermined. Hockey isn't. And I know things can happen like tonight with Humberto getting injured, so they might have to change their script a little bit. But most of this is planned out ahead of time. They know the finish, they know the matches, they know, we kind of forget that or give them that liberty at times. Everything else is live TV. Yes, this is still live. Anything can happen, but it is predetermined. So at this point, it's like, I can't give him that like extra leeway of the live factor because it's still scripted and predetermined. He's not having to think as much for himself on the fly.
But it's like you can think on the fly too. That's the thing. Is like, but he's
not, because you can tell he's being fed good. Every single line.
He sounds
so robotically scripted. It's disgusting.
He sounds like Phillips and Michael Cole. Like, it's the same type of thing.
He sounds like a robotic clone. Yeah, and unfortunately, he has no personality, no characteristic at all.
Except he sounds like a mark. That's the one thing is he goes, "Oh, guys, did you see that?" It's like, yeah, we've been watching it, dude.
Because he's impressed because he's never seen this before. He's admitted that he hasn't really watched wrestling. He's like, "Oh, I've been a lifelong fan, but I haven't really seen it."
Yeah. He's an idiot.
He's one of those. Is Hogan still wrestling? That kind of shit.
I don't think, is he really that bad, you think?
Oh, absolutely. Every one of his comments.
How do you get this job? Like, how did this happen?
It was a favor because they thought ESPN, he would get the name, value of, we got an ESPN broadcaster and interviewer coming. And Vince has a hard-on for ESPN. I don't know, because they're both in Connecticut and they're next to each other, Stanford, Bridgeport, like, I don't know if they have some type of agreement or what, but think about it. Like they got Coachman to ESPN. Like it's been back and forth. So
Coachman, actually, though, we know him. He can pull off the something. I mean, he wasn't the greatest either, but he was pretty. Jesus Christ, just choked on something. But he was pretty good.
Same thing.
Jesus Christ. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, he was pretty good at like kind of like the second guy in. But he could also. But even Coach, you wouldn't want Coach as the lead announcer for Raw, but he could do it better than this guy.
Yeah, he could do it. It wouldn't be pretty, but it would be much better than what we have now. But why put anybody else but him as lead? I don't get it. Like Corey Graves, even Byron Saxton, I think would do a better job, as we've seen at certain times. It's like the Byron Saxton I don't like is the one that can't be allowed to think on his feet. Because then he gets overwhelmed when they talk in his ear. You can tell. And we found that
he's hilarious.
Most obvious on the Stone Cold day.
Yeah.
Because once he was able to riff and not be, he was okay. But when he has to do lines, he looks like I hate saying robotic, but they all are.
It was
like a stiff jackass.
It's exactly like Braun Strowman tonight. He sounded. And by the way, guys, make sure if you donate tonight, if you donate using the links down below, make sure you drop some hate points on Raw if you hated Raw. Because last week we got 112 hate points. Can we get more hate points for Raw this week? I don't know. We're going to find out.
Go home to the pay-per-view. Remind you, this is the go home Raw.
Well, thank God.
WrestleMania Backlash.
Get rid of these
because
matches.
We need to get out of all these feuds. But from right off the bat, I wanted to stop watching. I had a rush of a night. Everything kicks off late, so I have to go ahead and catch up. And immediately, you see Alexa Bliss on the stage, and I'm like, what is going on here? Already they change the promised match. I'm not upset by that, but people do have a right to complain because the Twitter handle is announcing something and advertising it 3 minutes before they go live. And now it's no longer Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler. It's Charlotte Flair. Not a big deal, but it's the point that you're 3 minutes before going live and you still don't know what match is opening up the show.
Right.
I mean, that's like a prime example of everything.
Ridiculous. Like, I mean, I didn't see that, but that's hilarious. They were tweeting out stuff that didn't happen.
I mean, they usually advertise matches all the time. We were supposed to get Braun and Randy. That didn't happen, so on and so forth. But every week it's this continual mix-up of this is what we said, but they don't go ahead and do it. And so we get Charlotte, Naya, and Shayna, Team Bad, versus Team Good of Asuka, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke. And then you hear the recycled Firefly Funhouse Alexa theme play, and Alexa's giggling over and over saying she's keeping an eye on someone in particular. And then they come back, and the match basically just ends. Naya goes ahead and basically gets knocked off the apron by Asuka, and then Baszler hits a knee thing and pins her, and it's like, okay, Asuka gets the win, and you're like, good for them. Why do I care? What did Lily do in any of this? What did Alexa do in any of this? It was so inconsequential and nonsensical. It literally it makes no sense. Why is she out there? What is the point in this? There better be some hate points for this specifically because this blew my mind already, and this is the opening to the show.
I hated the way it opened.
Matchup. It was a terrible match, which was broken up immediately with a commercial break. Your match is broken up with a commercial break, and it's the intro. I thought you used to let this go long and take 20 minutes before you went to a commercial break. This is the intro. You're still in.
There was only one thing I liked.
A commercial.
There's only two things I liked. Number one, Charlotte looked different again, which is I don't know how she does it. Number two,
she did. She looked more plastic, but she did look different.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with her shape shifting, but the second thing,
it is magical. That's for sure. She's a witch.
It's nasty magical. The second thing that was great was, believe it or not, Nia Jax's stare at Alexa Bliss was kind of funny at the end. Nia Jax was staring at her like, what the fuck? What the hell is this?
Like, because they're all supposed to be creeped out and disturbed, but why? Like, what is there to fear? I just...
Oh, my God, dude. Just bury me in the head. Like, what, dude? What
did they do to this angle? It was so obvious and easy to write. I mean, like, everyone wants Alexa to join to be Sister Abigail. Okay, you get this. And how did they turn it into this? What happened? What happened to The Fiend and Bray and Randy Orton? And what have they done to this? How did they kill this so bad? think back to how many times they've screwed over the Fiend now. Hell in a Cell against Goldberg. It's like at Mania. Jesus Christ.
But let me tell you something. We are going to be saved by the modern day Maharaja. He's back, baby. I actually kind of like Jinder Mahal tonight.
I enjoyed Jinder, and it was a pretty decent showing. It
like
sucks that Jeff Hardy has to always be the one to be putting people over.
He's always the one that gets beaten up by Jinder, too.
But I liked how Hardy goes for the twist of fate, and then he avoids it, and then hits him with a straight knee to the head. And then he hits his finisher, and it's like,
bro,
there we go.
I'm cheering for Jinder. I'm not even joking about this. I am dead serious. I am cheering for Jinder Mahal. Like, if I was in the crowd tonight watching this show and there was an audience, I would not have cheered for anybody. And I'm dead serious. I would have cheered for Jinder. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. I
like
think it's
that he upgraded. He's got Veer and Shanky with him instead of the Bollywood boys. So instead of having the tiny people, Vince loves big, brawn, sized men. He's happy.
Dude, I don't know. And his shit, when his shit kicked on, I was like, dude, I want to buy a carpet, I think, and I want to
But they looked legit when they came out. They looked like an absolute unit, kind of like when the Shield first debuted. You were like, oh, those guys look badass. For the three of them coming out was like how 3MB should have been originally.
Remember the best part of Jinder ever when he had the belt, when he held the belt out the limo and drove away like,
that's when hilarious. He stole the belt. I think it was Randy. Yeah. Before he actually won the belt.
I put the needle in my balls. You guys want the Jinder donation back? I'll bring it back. I swear to God, I'll do it.
It's got to come back, but
I sold 17.
Really made Shayna's legs go numb, and yeah, that's why Team Bad launched. Oh yeah, it made her knee give out. That's what the puppet. Was come on. If they're really trying to sell that, then that's ridiculous. It looked like she was just injured, but if they really try to sell that, Lily caused Baszler's knee to go out, then we're gonna have to go ahead and have Lily get to like the NBA or something. We're gonna start betting and have her take out like LeBron.
They need to. What they need to be doing right now is
making. If Lily can take out knees, I'm bringing her to basketball games and I'm making a lot of betting. For sure.
They need to make Alexa have matches. That's all. Just have her promos and matches every. Have her be like Mankind, man, where she's like having a goddamn boiler room brawl and all these other things. Like, just have her doing that stuff, beating up women and scaring the women's division, like, for real. And but instead they were just like, we just need to get her on TV and whatever. And so it was just a whatever segment. So she's swinging and they're like, oh,
yeah, it was just so random and weird. And if they really do try and say that she was the factor in Shayna's knee going out, then I'm really gonna hate this.
That's hilarious.
I already hate it,
that's actually, I'm the other way. I think that's hilarious, like in a bad way, but like it's so bad I can't look away. Oh my God, it's terrible. I just
let's hear from some donators at this point. We got to see if we got any heat points rolling, Joe.
Y'all been trying to tempt me, but I gotta keep it.
Oh no, here it is. Here it is. Let's play a donut. Shit bomb. You become a shit bomb. Where are the shit bombs? Where are they at?
Raw is the special needs kid that got accidentally sent to fat camp. This show has no right to be on the air for 3 hours. They repeat this garbage every week, and this is the Raw before Backlash. 20 hate points put them up.
Oh my God, here we go. Soundwave dropping 20 hate points on tonight's Monday Night Raw. This is not good for Raw already. Unbelievable. I mean, Raw got 112 hate points last week. Let's see if we can, I don't know, man. We'll see if it's hated. Because, if it's really hated, people are going to drop them. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but pretty hated right now on the hate meter. And I'm going to create a meter and everything eventually once we get some numbers in so we can have a scale to whatever it's called, I can't think of the term, but you know what I mean, something to, what's it called? A base. Once we have a base level,
yeah, like a baseline.
Yeah, there you go. Baseline, that's the word. And I'm not talking about the big bass that Bernard in the chat can play. By the way, we're going to run out of gas, brother. There's going to be a fucking murdering at gas stations coming up.
I know, because there's just not enough deliveries at this point. Truckers aren't out in enough force, and they're not getting the deliveries out there.
Well, is that the real reason?
Yeah, that's legit.
But where does it come from originally before that, though? Because there's got to be a reason that's happening.
COVID, people being laid off and not having jobs, and
Really? They laid truckers off? How the fuck are
they
they
were one of the first people to be laid off. Honestly,
What?
yeah, they weren't even. Most weren't considered essential. Some were, but
I
you
can't
would think
even. What? Like, I mean,
it
that's all.
sounds
That's
crazy.
all. That I would,
People that I know personally were laid off from
That's like-
their trucking jobs. So
wow.
I don't know how widespread, but yeah, at least
But
here.
gas?
people
Why
I know
is
personally-
gas not getting delivered?
And that's a huge issue with deliveries. But I was just reading an article.
But that
about
doesn't
it
make any
earlier.
sense. Like, why would gas deliveries be down?
Something about people not being able to deliver as much, and
That doesn't make sense. We went a whole year with people being able to deliver during the pandemic. Now all of a sudden they can't deliver? That doesn't make any sense. Something is fucked. You know what I mean?
yeah, it says right here, shortage of delivery drivers means gas station pumps could run dry. It wouldn't be the first time motorists have found pumps running dry, but unlike the 70s, there's a plentiful supply of petroleum, just no way to get it to service stations. More than a year after U.S. was forced into lockdown by the pandemic, Americans are taking to the road again, whether returning to work or delayed long vacations. But travel plans could be disrupted in the months ahead due to the possibility of gasoline shortages. Truckers driving shortage already exceeds 50,000 drivers, wrote the National Tank Truck Carriers and Industry Trade Group in a recent report. That's only part of the problem, the NTTC adds. The trucking industry's workforce shortage is not confined to drivers alone. Trucking companies also require dispatchers and back office staff. Train mechanics are also in short supply. Tank truck operators face further critical shortages of registered inspectors and design certified engineers who can inspect and repair cargo tank truck trailers. Say that 3 times fast.
Jesus.
So basically, they don't have enough people to fix, to store, to tell the people where they're delivering to, from the front to the back to everything. All of it is like, just fucked at this point. Plus, they don't have enough drivers. So that's why there's the shortage. Turnover is rising challenge for the industry, the ATA said. It rose to 94% for large truck carriers during the first quarter of this year. Unemployment, 94%, up 20% point from the first quarter of 2017. So,
yeah, everybody, I mean, people are saying that it got hacked.
And then 70% of tanker drivers quit the business or changed jobs during the pandemic.
Damn. I mean,
So-
I just still...
And not everyone is
like
licensed to haul an 18-wheeler, can operate a tanker truck, or can also carry fuel. I guess there's a different...
Oh, if Trump was in
regulation.
office, they'd blame Trump if Trump was the president.
No, that's what I'm saying. No matter what, somehow this becomes a political issue, but it's not political. It's COVID. So
That just doesn't
no
sound...
matter who's in office, it's
I don't
gonna
care who's
be
in office.
their fault.
It still doesn't sound like the COVID thing still doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, man, but fuck it. We'll talk
Why
about
does
it
that
later.
make sense? Because every person that was working
Because
gets
for a
paid more
year.
to stay home and doesn't want to go back to work, or was sick, or died, or changed jobs entirely.
Why would truckers be working from home?
They wouldn't. That's why they had to change jobs, because their offices got shut down because there was no one. Just because they could drive the trucks, the truckers, there was not. The staff wasn't allowed to go to the offices to set up the deliveries, to set up the orders, to set up to be the dispatchers. So because the office had to go home. One of my best friends, his mother does this job. That's what she does. She schedules deliveries for 18-wheelers and everything. They're months behind in deliveries, and she doesn't have enough drivers.
Damn.
And then
Hire
every
some
day
drivers.
they have to COVID test the drivers before they can go on the road.
What?
And
Why?
they're driving
What?
a tanker truck. There
They're
were so
driving
many
a truck.
regulations. That since stopped.
What the
But
hell?
that was an issue, and that was costly. For anyone to go into the office, they had to be tested daily with rapid tests. It was just part of the standard, and
That's so
expensive
crazy.
to do.
It's wild that, like, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, we should get back to wrestling, but we got to do a whole podcast on this probably maybe tomorrow or during the week, whatever. It's very interesting stuff.
Much sense through the nuts. I got you.
Oh, yeah. You'll listen. There's got to be something crazy about it. This
I was
is not,
arguing with my brother-in-law over the weekend about COVID.
You were making out with your brother-in-law over the weekend?
Well, after I was making out with him, I was arguing with him about COVID, and he's one of those that doesn't exist people.
Uh-huh.
So it just, drives me nuts when there's simple facts and things, but I usually keep my mouth shut, so.
You should fight him. I think you guys in a fight would be awesome. Like, just get...
That would be cool.
You guys 2 pipes. Shit,
I'll box him.
You become
Steve Callan. What up,
shit
Steve?
ball.
How you doing, Steve?
Hey Joe and Jake, Raw was crap as always and hate points for Raw.
Oh, there you go. More hate points for Raw from Steve Callan. Made a video about me.
At this point, the best thing about Raw is the ads for NXT tomorrow or SmackDown.
They did have a lot of NXT ads. Like that. What the hell? I saw that. The Karrion Kross one was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. But they had a lot of NXT ads, so good. I'm glad they did. They need it, obviously.
That's probably why they did it. They're like, oh shit, we get 500,000 viewers on a Tuesday. This ain't good.
But there's just there's no news. We know Humberto Carrillo is legitimately injured. We don't know how bad. We're waiting to hear that. But
what do you guess? I'm guessing
Dream was backstage at Raw. There's rumors that he's being called up now, and he was having a meeting with Vince. I don't know the legitimacy to that, but I did hear that earlier today.
Damn, man, let's go.
It's just not a great deal of good news out there at this point, but.
Man, Velveteen was on fire in NXT with all those guys.
He was great. He was an entertaining character. It's just we can't get past this, or at least I can't anyways. It's still awkward because it's just hard to overlook.
He's Bill Gates now.
Sadly.
I said this the other day that I loved Bill Gates growing up, and now I don't know what to say about him. He's very creepy.
I know, I was the same way. I not idolized, but I always
No, it's very.
Wow, you think of the world's richest man, and
not
you
even
always
that.
hear the story of starting in a garage.
It's the computer story.
Inspiring.
The guy literally ripped. And the thing about it, though, when you think about it, is the guy was just the first one to rip the chip off. Really.
Yeah.
But
it's like first to market. But
Steve Wozniak, Bill Gates,
and
what's the other two guys?
Beats the frig out of me.
The Apple, he's dead. Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, Bill Gates. If they didn't all start together at the beginning, when they did, I mean, dude, we wouldn't have computers the way they are. I mean, it's fascinating. So when I was a kid, I was very obsessed with the story of computers and how video games and computers happen, and how they turned into the best documentary was that one we always talk about, the Triumph of the Nerds one. It's such a great documentary because they finally covered the Altair, and I loved that the first computer, and my dad had one, and it's just crazy. And but now this creepiness. I mean, his wife is leaving him, so it's like. This I don't know what this ties into wrestling. I forget where this. Oh yeah, in the Velveteen Dream, and it's but it feels the same way for a lot of people where they think if this guy's involved with kids, nobody can get past it. They bring it up every time. I almost want to ignore it because I don't know. So it's I don't want to think anymore.
That's the thing, but it's just uncomfortable still, sadly. And I think you were kind of like me as well growing up. You were so enamored by electronics and especially computers because it was so rapidly advancing. Every year there was this huge leap in tech, not just with consoles, but home computers as well. We went from home computers were an impossible thought, and then the next year you were seeing people getting these gigantic desktops, and then after that we used to have those gigantic floppy disks. The floppy disk got smaller. Eventually we went to disks, and I mean, you think about where we're at now, but
yeah, man.
My uncle worked for IBM, and he brought me spare parts every time he could, and eventually he built me a computer at 5 or 6 years old, and I remember playing Doom and TIE Fighter and things like that on it, and I had a CD drive eventually that was external that I had to plug into the wall, and it had this huge power brick and all, its thing hummed like you wouldn't believe. It sounded like a nuclear power plant, and you had to hook it up with big cables to go to the computer, and that's how you could play the Star Wars games and stuff like that. But it was, just a different, but to see how far everything has advanced and solid state drives and graphics cards, it's amazing. But like you said, you see someone, and I was always enamored and captivated by Microsoft and that story, and like you said, he was really just the first to market. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm with you on that. I think we grew up during that time that was so fun. We
didn't have the internet to start at my house or your house, and then I believe you said you had a fax machine, right, with your dad?
Yeah, but I mean, I can still dude, I can smell the 80s, if that makes any sense. Dude, I can smell the fucking 80s. We didn't, we had a big TV, no cable. It had an antenna. We got 8 channels. The Tandy 1000 was the computer that we had in the house. this is literally it. Like I can taste this
I had
computer.
the Atari, and that I got passed down from my uncle, and then my cousins gave me their Nintendo, and then their Super Nintendo, and then their.
I want to go back, Jake.
Console, I would get theirs.
I want to go back, Jake. I want to go back. I want to go back to just flopping those floppy disk in, and like after about 8 minutes, I'll go crazy. But dude, just the smell of it felt like
just
we had
nostalgia of it. That's why nostalgia for wrestling works so strong, because it's a hell of a drug. And WWE, because they're not building new stars, that's why they are so reliant on bringing in the legends as much. And that's the only time they can catch a rating, which proves why they need to be building their talent. But I get it entirely. Not even just trying to bring it back to wrestling, but life in general. And nostalgia is an important thing because it's our memories that fuel us. And history is important. They don't, realize or address that enough. If they actually went ahead and address the history properly of wrestling instead of trying to recreate it every week and do the things that are already done, it's they could be miles ahead of where they are right now. The audience could be massive. There's a desire. People want to watch wrestling. It's just not worth watching at this point.
It's so slow. Like it's okay. We get it, Tandy. It's so slow paced. Like WWE is so slow. Like the matches feel generic. Like slow punching, kicking, thing happens, minorly impressive, not really. It's just so slow, man, and so run of the mill nothing. And every week almost nothing happens to advance anything. Nothing exciting really happens.
That's the thing, because we've been on the same stories since the
WrestleMania.
Draft.
Before WrestleMania, we're still
since the draft. Everything has been going since the draft, since they did this back in October. And I can actually, if I go through this whole match card, I can show you literally how it's all been the same. Right off the bat, the women's stuff, Naya and Shayna teamed up at the draft point, and that's when they went for the tag titles at Survivor Series, and they've had that since. And they've been feuding with Asuka and whoever her partner was. First it was Kairi Sane, then it was Charlotte, then it was Lana at one point, and then it kept changing, and then she was by herself, and now it's Mandy and Dana Brooke, but it's still the same feud since the summer. So right there, that alone has been on repeat. Jinder's new. He took out Jeff Hardy, who hasn't been around much either, so that's why it was interesting. Okay, Kofi taking on Omos or AJ and Jackson and Riker. That's been going on almost the same length of time as well. The New Day has been feuding on both sides with AJ. Excuse me, I'm dying over here. So they feuded with AJ on SmackDown and on Raw on both times. Randy Orton got thrown into this, but him and the Riddle stuff is kind of interesting. I like them teaming together. I just wish it wasn't in an 8-man tag. But still, this is on repeat. We've seen Humberto Carrillo in the U.S. title picture, just like we did 6 months ago. That was the same thing. Cedric and Shelton had the match of the night to me, and it was 4 minutes and 25 seconds. They could have given them a half an hour. There was no hype here. There was no build-up. There was no intensity, but they made it interesting. They made there be a rivalry in this match because they gave it their all. I wish Cedric wasn't so loud at sometimes. His yelling gets to me at certain points, but still they delivered off of nothing. And this could have been something. This really could have been. And it should have been. This is the breakup of the Hurt Business.
Yeah, and they just had a match of just any old run-of-the-mill match.
It was 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
And then I thought, oh my God, didn't you think oh wow, they're building Cedric. That's why he's going to beat the veteran quickly, and it's going to be a surprising push for Cedric. And then out of nowhere, fucking Shelton comes back at the end and just beats him. And I was like, what?
Yeah, Damian Priest and John Morrison minus Bad Bunny have been feuding for months. Damian Priest is not going to lose to John Morrison no matter what. He should have, because that would have made it more interesting, but he's not going to. They're going to build him up. And I hate the finisher being called hit the lights because it never fits with the way they say, oh, he got hit the lights. Like, it just doesn't flow. Yeah,
hit the lights. It doesn't make any sense, yeah.
Like, I don't get he's about to hit the lights, but it just doesn't come out right. The backstage stuff with
what
Braun
all
night was disastrous, but we've seen all of this with Braun doing the, I won't join you, wait, I'll join you, yeah, and then I stab you in the back. We've seen him do this to everybody. he's teamed with.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing again. What are we going to get? And for Priest, what match is he going to pick? A cage match, a lumberjack match, a strap match? It's going to be something because the Miz ran away. So it'll be one of those three. Probably a lumberjack match because he's stupid. But
didn't they already pick that?
Yeah, they'll do another one. Watch.
Didn't he ask for that tonight?
Did he? Oh,
yeah,
I didn't hear.
Somebody said, I want a lumberjack match. I swear to God.
Oh, he already picked it. I missed
somebody in the chat.
I missed that then. Look at that. Go figure. I didn't hear them pick the stipulation yet. I thought they were going to announce it like on Raw Talk or something.
Somebody in the chat knows. I heard lumberjack. I heard because he keeps running away. He literally explained it.
Yeah, well, he went ahead and because when the match ended, they even said that oh, you're running away, Miz. You can't run away. And so that I knew they were going to play into that, but oh wow! So I honestly didn't.
He picked the lumberjack.
When did they do that?
Chat says he picked the lumberjack match. Big Dave.
That's great. Thanks, Chat. When did he do that?
During like talking to Adam Pearce, I think. I'm pretty sure.
So I that must have been.
It was at the beginning or end of that Adam Pearce conversation. I think I'm pretty
okay because that must have been when I ran to the bathroom. If it was before the main event.
I was literally talking to Nikki J on for a second on BattleNet, and I wasn't looking at the screen, but I heard it, and I was like, okay, he picked the lumberjack. That makes sense, and so that was it. Yeah.
I figured he would have gone cage match instead of lumberjack, but knowing him, he's an idiot. He'll pick lumberjack, and look at that lumberjack. Because he doesn't want him to run away. Why not just do the cage match?
Well, I mean, you won't run away. Lumberjack matches might be more effective than cage matches. The modern day Maharaja is back. Let's go.
8 points to Raw. Don't hinder the gender. I am back, baby.
Oh, no.
The Singh brothers are in my closet. Stock up on gas, people.
Stock up on gas. I've already got mine. I went down and grabbed some already. Now people
I'm full of gas.
Now everyone's gonna do that. You realize that tomorrow, like everybody's gonna be out.
That's gonna be the problem, and that's what's making it go and the shortage happen. People worry about a shortage.
Yeah.
So what they do is they stock up on gas and they hoard it. Yep. So then there is a shortage, and then there can't be more delivered. So it just snowballs.
A shitball.
It's coming. You're gonna be working from home.
Jinder Needle in my balls. Dono needs to make a return. We are getting Jinder versus Mcintyre for likely SummerSlam. Now we also have Eva Marie who is setting back the whole women's revolution shtick. 28 points.
28 points from the Soundwave 92. Thank you, Soundwave. Yeah, I don't even know on Eva Marie. It
was just the same Eva promo again, though.
I don't even care about her at all. Until she shows up, I don't know what to bitch about. So
and
what?
we actually liked the things she was doing on SmackDown, where she kept having excuses. Thank you, Soundwave, though, for the more hate points. Oh, we needed them. But I like it. We were laughing how she was getting disqualified because she was having wardrobe malfunctions or she was late to the match and all this crap. So, yeah, poor Drew has a 450-mile drive. Yeah, you're going to need some gas. So stock up. Put some in the trunk, Drew, just in case.
I'm going to have to send Drew gas. Well, what's funny is I worked from home today. So, because I've had such allergies, I literally couldn't drive a couple of times. And I'm actually capable of working from home with some parts of what I do. Not everything, but a lot of it. And so, I work from home today, and I'm like, dude, I may be working from home soon for a while if I can't find it, if the gas thing happens. I haven't seen it in Massachusetts yet, so it hasn't happened here yet. And it... Again, like you said, if people just relax and buy gas the normal way they buy it, we'll be fine. But but here's the thing: people are going to now start putting gas in lawnmowers.
Have a ration forced on us like the 70s. But they're saying if people start doing it, then they're going to have to force a ration again.
Yeah, and dude, people are going to want to get their lawnmowers rolling. And I'll tell you this right now: if this starts spiraling, it will last a month or two. And if that's the case, you better have an electric lawnmower.
That's what I'm saying. Not just that, weed whackers, lawnmowers, but all yard tools, chainsaws. People do stuff at this point. Trimmers. There's a lot of what do you call it? Not just landscapers, but there's even a lot of kids that do it in my neighborhood. That go ahead and try and make money.
Yep.
And they actually brought it up the other day. They're like, oh, a couple guys have electric stuff just in case, but not much. So
listen, I won't pay you to cut my lawn, but I will pay you to send me pics of your mom.
And I don't mind. They'll do it.
Then I stare at them very funny. Anyway, let's continue with Raw. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. They make me buy them weed too, but I'm like, whatever. It's worth it.
I don't do that. I don't know what you're talking about. You're doing that. I'm not. It's not me.
Well, you're the one that told me to get it for him, but
I don't know even what you're talking about.
You were like, go buy weed for the kids.
No,
and give it to them
I don't.
high.
Why?
Said,
no, I wouldn't say that. But you are a drug dealer, as you just admitted on the air.
No, you sent me the money. You're like,
no,
these kids are having a bad day. Go buy them weed from the dispensary so they can have a good time.
I don't buy anyone nothing. No one bought me shit when I was
the text message right here. You sent it. See if you read it. It says Joe said, it's.
No, you're stupid.
Oh, all right. Maybe I read it wrong. It was Drew. Sorry, not Joe. Drew. I read it wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you went to Drew's school of drug use.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Drew sending me the money for the kids.
All right.
With the weed. Gotcha. Gotcha hat. What a crazy night monetized this was on Saturday. Holy hell. The night change worked out well, and it was a crazy ending. It just cut that poor clock, and then Drew chugging that whiskey. Whew.
Drew was insanely drunk. I don't know what the hell was wrong with him.
I don't know how he is sober now.
I don't know how he doesn't have liver fucking poisoning or something. Like, I hope he drank
alcohol poisoning.
I hope he answers this in the chat. Drew, I hope you drank a giant pot of black coffee like a few hours after that night, because he took one for the team, man. He wanted the show to be good, and he really fucked himself up to like entertain the people.
I told him he was a star that night for sure. I mean, you and him going back and forth, tearing each other apart was hilarious.
If somebody doesn't watch Monetize This but watches Raw, I'm confused by that. If you think about it,
the drama for the points, my goodness. I mean, the bankruptcy situation alone, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it yet, but oof, that was heart-wrenching. You want to talk drama.
You want to hear some weird clips of Drew real quick? Listen to this.
I'd find a dead fetus and bathe in its amniotic fluid.
See, people hear things like that, and that's why they don't question him sending me money to buy kids weed.
And then listen to this one. He's very sexual here in this one.
Oh, my God, the black tip.
Oh, see, I know what he's talking about there.
Oh, my God.
That porn he showed me.
Yeah, you know what that's about.
Oh, my God, the black tip.
I was like 16 inches.
Oh, my God, the black tip. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, listen to this.
Oh, my God, the black tip.
I have to get off in a couple seconds.
All right.
There you go.
Did we miss anything about Raw here? I mean, it really was bad, guys. Wait. Sheamus's promo was pretty good.
Sheamus is just, he's funny.
He stumbled a little bit, but it was good. Pretty good.
But he is. No, he's reliable. He's entertaining. That's why I liked him in the U.S. champ role. The problem is that he doesn't have anyone to work with. He doesn't.
Yeah.
And then the injury now, I don't know what they're going to do, because I heard that this Humberto feud was going to carry on for quite some time.
Oh, boy.
Because this was a new feud, so...
Insert whatever other person.
Yeah, we'll see, but I don't know who they're going to throw out there. Maybe they'll throw Angel Garza, because we saw him briefly tonight. Angel Garza was talking about how he shoved a rose up what's his name's ass there.
Really?
Drew Gulak.
You know what's driving me nuts is I was on WWE.com earlier today, and they had this like all the United States champions listed, and I was going to go through it and look at it all, and it's gone now. I can't find it. So it's like driving me nuts. You know what I mean? Like it's like I clicked on it for a minute and then was like, I'm going to come back and read the rest of this later. But now I can't find it. Like it's not there anywhere that I can see. And then I'm even searching like, where is it? Like all the U.S. champions ever. Like where the hell is it? It was here. Now it's gone. I mean, why did they do like I really want to see this stupid article and I never read articles on WWE. It's like, where is it?
I was listening to your YouTube video before. You were teasing it with Patreon, and people want to know your response for Ryback, but I've never seen so much demand for you and I to speak about something.
Oh my God, I know
Even
what
in
you're
the chat, I
talking
just
about.
saw from Queen Latoya now, retire Ryback, but I've gotten so many tweets and retweets of his polls and multiple polls, and he's legitimately serious. The first poll he threw out because he thought there were bots, and he could prove that it was manipulated and it wasn't real voting.
Oh my God!
So he redid it, and then he got the same retire result.
His Twitter accounts are bots.
That's what he doesn't realize. But
he's an idiot.
But he did have legitimate votes too. So, but people are now just voting retire as a meme. But they also don't want to see him. If the first vote was legitimate, people voted retire because they don't want to see him. He doesn't realize that it wasn't, bullshit. Now everyone's doing it because it's a meme and it's funny, and
he's
getting even more of a result. I don't know why he included retire again. He should have just left that off entirely. But he said, where do I go? AEW, NXT, Ring of Honor, Impact, that kind of thing, whatever the hell he had for choices for the three of them. And then the last is retire. And everyone's voting retire. So for the final poll, it happened again. He's like, whatever happens, I have to stick with it. Well, the poll's up. So now what? Do you retire? Are you actually going to retire?
Can you somebody Twitter audit Ryback? I can't do it because he blocked me, and you have to log in under your Twitter account. Somebody search Twitter audit. Take Ryback's name, put it on Twitter audit.
I'm working on it right now.
Go do it, Jake. Jake will do it. Never mind, everybody. Jake will do it. And find out.
What's his
Ryback, at Ryback. It's literally just at Ryback. I'm blocked. So I can't do it because Twitter audit, I don't know why, but it's like, oh, he's blocked you.
At Ryback, the big guy. I don't know if that's him. I thought it was, no, I think it's Ryback 22.
Oh, is he? Wait, he's got a different one now? Oh, maybe that's why it didn't work. I don't even know, but he's stupid because he got suspended on that name. Remember, he's got a different name now. I think he's back to Ryback. I honestly believe he's back because if you search him, I can't find him. But under Ryback, I'm blocked, and it's his real account. It looks like do you know why he got banned on Twitter? People why he got banned on Twitter. He got banned on Twitter because he was using bots. He was using a bot program to get followers and to message everyone. And every day he was following thousands of people, then unfollowing them within a week because if you follow someone, they go, Ryback followed me. Or they go, who's this guy that followed me? And they follow them back automatically. So they gain these followers. And the system knows when you've been doing that long enough. And he literally got shut down because that violates Twitter rules. So it's against the TOS.
They want you to pay to re-audit him on my account.
Really?
Yeah, so the last update for me was when I checked it multiple years and a month ago. That's what it shows for me when he was at 56% fake.
Wait a minute. Here's another site. Let's see if this one works.
So
I got it. Twitter
audit works. Okay,
no, I went to another site. I know this site. This site works. Hold on, here we go. We're going to find in a minute. So he thinks all the bots are out of control. It's now, I don't know if these guys are bots again, but if they are, it's because, again, his fucking Twitter followers are goddamn half fake. Okay, here we go. Okay, here he goes.
Oh, I got it right now. 46.6% of his are fake followers. So out of 1.4 million, almost 700,000, 676, 558,000 are fake.
And on Twitter Spark, he got a 50 out of 100.
Yep.
He has a 50 out of 100. That means at least half is bogus.
Analysis info. He's had 42% of his accounts have been inactive for more than 120 plus days, and 49% of the people that follow him have sample accounts who display names matches spam correlated signals.
He also buys followers.
Yep. It says that he's purchased at least 23,000. According
This guy's a fuck. Oh my god, dude. Let's search me, guys. Let's search Joe Cronin. And now remember, I used to have a lot of followers. Now I have a small channel, but still. Let's see, Ryback. I mean, obviously I used to have 36,000 followers. And when I had 36,000 followers, I still have the screenshot. It said 5% of my followers were fake when I had 36,000 followers. And now you can't help but get some fake ones because that just happens, or like it questions things. Look at mine.
Yeah, you have 300 fake followers or inactive accounts.
Right. It's
so
like that's a normal number.
No longer active after 120 plus days, but out of 2013 followers, you have 300 inactive. So.
I have a more credible score than Ryback. And it used to be 5% when I had 36,000 followers. I mean, what is going on here, Ryback?
I have 4,448 followers now.
You'd be a really good example because you've never been shut down on Twitter, and you've had your followers since I had my followers at the beginning, so your account's been around since how many years of the Joe Cronin Show? You know what I mean? And so
it says that 31% of mine are either inactive or fake at this point.
That's actually pretty high. I'm surprised about that.
So I am as well. It says 41% of those are inactive.
Yeah.
Those are accounts that have not tweeted or used Twitter in over 120 plus days.
I would have expected you to be I would have expected you to be at 15% or something like that.
Yeah. This site goes on between inactive and bots.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's hard to tell the inactive. What was Ryback's score on the amount of fake?
31.3%. So it came up with 1,392.
Oh yeah, look at yours. So I can see the scores now. See, Ryback had like a huge number, a small number. Yours is huge because look, inactive for 120 plus days. So that makes sense. 41% of your followers aren't really on Twitter anymore.
Yeah, so that's where
because you've had your Twitter account since back when we started.
Yeah, this account is over, I think, 11 or 12 years old. So
wow,
that makes sense.
That's crazy though. But yeah, Ryback getting a horrific score, like a horrific score.
Yeah, this account, it was started in July 2009.
That's crazy. I wonder if you can see my old account. Probably not. Yeah, you can't see my old account.
If you find it, I was able to find a tweet and then go to your profile that way, but I couldn't, and it wouldn't show any tweets or anything, but it would show like your stats.
Right.
But that was a while ago. I don't know if it.
Yeah, I somewhere I have the photos because I took photos. In fact, you know what? Somewhere is a Raw review from 2016 where we went and showed all this. Actually, we actually showed the Ryback fake things 4 years ago. So
yeah,
we have
that's why
that.
I had that on the other Twitter site saying that it was like 3 years and some odd months since we last did it.
But that's, I mean, like, but he's got active bots. That's the thing you can tell.
Well, that's what, and it said it was over 20,000 paid followers minimum.
Jesus, he paid for followers, which
that's the ridiculous part.
That is bizarre. When Twitter first came out, though, the thing you got to remember is, I give some people a break because, you know, it's fun to fuck around or see what you could do. And like, oh, you know, like when Twitter first was around or, you know, whatever, back in the day, it's like you would never think of doing it. You'd be like, I'm not going to do that. What the hell? I'll create my own followers. Let's play a donation here. Shit bomb! Evan Rivera, what's up, man?
A shit bomb.
WWE needs to bring fans back quick.
Yeah, I mean, like bringing the audience back in the crowd. Yeah, I mean, we need a crowd. That would be nice. But what they really need to do is make a better show. Like, there could be 10,000 people or nobody. And it's like, it still doesn't matter. The show is still terrible. You could have a full crowd and this would still just suck. You know, like, so that's not even
finisher.
First for me.
Pin. Someone's music and lights play. Forget your profession. Stand up and walk towards the ropes staring at the ramp. Camera angle gets tight. Boom. OMG, person whose music and lights are playing is here. Tired
bullshit 1000 finish. Stoko Steve Boston.
Hell yeah, bud.
But dude, Braun Strowman promo, his promo in the back with I mean, dude, he's a fucking video game character that like is a terrible actor. He was like, dude, was he in the original Resident Evil? Braun Strowman should be Barry Burton in the Resident Evil remake.
Wow, that's a deep dive there.
I mean, because he was like,
Jill, you know, don't open that door.
Well, that was
funny how revered Resident Evil is, but it was also voted like the worst cinematics in gaming history and the worst dialogue, and for a game ever from the first game.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
because
it was horrifically bad for the voice acting. But
because even back then, it was like,
it
even
was
then
so
you were like, wow, this is
next
cheesy.
level with how intense some of the scares were and how great the game design was, and the intensity that came with being able to have to save ammo and learn conservation and all that stuff. Inventory limitation, and that's what made the game so intense.
Oh no, I dropped my phone.
Shit.
I'm trying to pull it up right now. I got to pull it up. You got to hear this. Like, we have to hear Braun Strowman from tonight. And I heard my daughter woke up and is acting crazy upstairs, and I might have to go in a second help ask Leah what's going on. Because Leah's doing that thing where she texts me 1,000 times and says, "What the fuck's going on?" Like, it sounds crazy. What would it, where is this? When did Braun cut that promo? Was it towards the end of the night? Do you remember? I don't even remember.
I want to say, I'm trying to look through my notes.
Anybody remember when Braun?
Drew before the end. I know because I commented on it. I think it was. Let's see here. I know it was up a while.
It is.
I apologize.
I can't remember it either, though. I can't even remember like where it was. Like,
I thought it was early on, but
it might have been.
Is this where Braun was in his dressing room?
Yeah, when the dressing room. I sort of got it was the middle towards the end.
No, that was pretty early on. That was before the gender match.
Really? Wow,
Yeah.
I just can't remember anything that happened.
That was after the New Day shit backstage.
Oh yeah, here it is. I found it.
Okay, so I just came to discuss some business with you. I don't want to talk business with you. Get out. Hold on. You're an intelligent guy. Just hear me out. Bobby Lashley didn't beat you last week. Drew McIntyre did. And, I mean, to lose the WWE Championship. Not that he's going to, but if he had to.
Man, it's so bad. I mean, MVP's great, but Braun is like...
Besides, Drew's already had his opportunity to face Lashley for the WWE Championship. But Braun Strowman has not. And...
Man, will you shut up, MVP? I'm trying to hear how ridiculous Braun sounds. I guess I got to go back, maybe? Here it is. Okay.
Get out of my locker room. Whoa, big guy. I just came
Get out of my locker room.
to discuss some business with you. I don't want to talk business with you. Get out. Hold on. You're an intelligent guy. Just hear me out.
Wait, do they have another conversation later? Does anybody know? Because this ain't what I'm remembering. Like, I was really caught off guard by Braun. I was like, man, he sounds fucking dumb.
Bobby Lashley almost beat him, WWE champion. And
I think you're right, and I'm trying to check, and I
lots of
don't
people feel that way
recall.
about it.
I find it very interesting.
I missed something.
Don't take it personally. I'm sure you can see how that would benefit all parties involved. I really don't like you. I understand that. Lots of people feel that way about me, but
Yeah, it's not this. It's something.
It was actually after Damian Priest's match, and then right at the end before the commercial, that's when Braun went back into Lashley's locker room.
Okay, there we go. Because I'm like, this don't make
Because I
sense.
wrote down there, this made Braun look like a fucking idiot again.
Yeah, because this one's not so bad.
So that's gotta be it. That's gotta be the spot. And that was right after the Miz kept attacking Damian Priest.
Okay.
And then the Miz ran away, and they made the comments of him running away. And I said, the Miz ran away, so it's going to be a steel cage or a lumberjack. And it was a lumberjack. So
Well, I see Bobby talking to Braun, but I don't see MVP. I don't know, man. I'm lost now, but I swear to God, I heard MVP and Braun, and I was like, I typed it in the chat to everybody.
yeah,
I said,
because
dude.
Bobby Lashley and Drew are warming up, and they're both backstage. And then Braun goes into Lashley's locker room, and they were kind of like face to face. They didn't say anything, though, I don't believe.
That's
But I
not
was
it.
like,
then.
that just makes him look stupid, like he's trusting fucking.
It is the MVP thing then, but I guess maybe I missed the dialogue, but I heard dialogue that made me go, Jesus, he sounds like a video game character when he delivers. He's like,
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I won't ever be the
and it was just like,
because he has that unique voice, but he's still stiff with it, and he's not. He's animated because his voice is unique.
We gotta
but
hear
it's
it.
not an animated delivery, if that makes sense. I'm not sure how to express.
No, it's just a very.
it's just.
I
It's
am
very
reading lines.
Stoic stiff. He just thinks that because he has a unique voice, he can just say it without using any expression, and this deep voice makes it enough of an impact. But if you put a little effort into it, but he doesn't. He doesn't try. He doesn't ever sound different. He just gets louder or softer with that same tone. That's it. Over and over.
It's like he's acting it's like he's delivering. He's a bad actor, is what it is. Like
because he doesn't sound like that all the time. He adds that little extra gruffness to it for no reason, like the Christian Bale Batman. That kind of thing. So
it's the way he speaks, though. It's not even the voice. Like the voice is fine. He could have no voice. It's just the way he goes.
He thinks his voice is what I'm saying.
Tell you what I'm gonna do.
That voice makes him unique and stand out, but really, that's not it.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be there when you face him, because I'm not a fool. Like it's like, what the hell kind of acting? Like, what is going on here? Are you a real person? Are you a fucking real human? Like who's fucking watching him perform this and is like, this is good?
How could he be a babyface in any of it? Like, I don't get it. And then he's the heel, but he's not a heel. That's why I said a lot of it doesn't make sense, because Braun's supposed to be a face initially because he beat up Shane at Mania. And then he's attacking Drew, but he's allowed to because Drew attacked him with the Claymore last week. But it's just not making sense.
I hope to God we find it, because I got to hear. It's the line. It's obvious when he delivers it. You're like, oh, my God.
I think it was in part of that interview. I think we just missed it.
I think I just skipped over it.
Possibly.
Yes, sir.
I mean, even the main event was only 13 minutes, and all the shit they did always had the after stuff. And even that wasn't that interesting because, you see Braun, he lifts up McIntyre, gives him, multiple power slams, and then, we got to put somebody through the barricade because he's the monster, and it's like another power slam. All right. Lashley's destroyed, Braun's destroyed, and Strowman stands tall, but he's the least likely to win the title anyways, so what does it matter?
I don't get it, man. I can't find it. I swear to God.
No one likes him. Maybe we manifested a promo.
No, I'm telling you, man, this is driving me fucking crazy. I'm about to lose my mind. I heard this. I literally typed it in the chat. I wrote it in the chat like, oh my God, bro, this guy's a video game character. It's so bad that, fuck it, I guess. But I swear to God, I even think I might have tweeted it out.
Yeah, going back through Raw, the only other time I saw him, besides the match, unless the chat knows, is before Bobby's match when he appears, making it look like they're making a deal. And then it had to have been when they were talking backstage initially, and that's right before the gender match.
Well, either way, this show sucked tonight. Fuck this show tonight.
It was awful, no doubt about it. It was horrifically bad.
Ugh. What a fucking mess, man. How many hate points we got? Shit bomb. 50 hate points.
Become a shit bomb.
Hit the Lights might be based on Metallica.
You're right. It might be. You should call it Ride the Lightning. He'd sue him though. He rode the lightning, my God. No, I don't know what you call it. Master of Bucket.
Yeah, and because MVP's like, we could make it to, if McIntyre could make it to Backlash, then, it becomes a singles match instead of a triple threat. And Strowman's like, I don't like you. And MVP's, it's like, why would you respond to that like that?
You are highly volatile and triggered. You need anger management. I hope you enjoyed the excitement that I added to Saturday's show because it was my last. Hate points to you.
Okay, really mysterious. Okay. What up, really mysterious? I appreciate it.
Something happened with Sunday Night Gaming.
Well, no, I didn't. First of all, if you go and read the chat from last night, it wasn't me. It was somebody else, and I literally was brought up by the person on the show, and then I had to call in and yell at somebody.
So
if you read the chat, you'd know. And if you listened on Drew's show, you would know that Dingleberry brought me up, and then his own co-host, the Rose Gaming, even agreed with me, and then got told to shut up over it. Maybe I will have to play the clip and prove that I didn't cause this.
Eva Marie couldn't spell talent if you spotted her the L and N.
Ugh.
She is an awful heifer. It fuck her. Good to see Jinder back, not good to see Jinder's back acne. Ryback is a tool yet not the sharpest one in the drawer. Raw is like a boil on my shaft.
Oof, I don't know about Jesus. Mr. Pico Boulevard, simply nasty. Jake, I'm going to leave you in charge of the ship for a second while I just go figure out what the fuck's going on upstairs.
Yeah, absolutely. So, unfortunately, Sonya Deville's stalker, he was scheduled for a mental competency hearing today. And I've yet to hear the results of it, but there's no update of the court's decision. And DeVille's next date for this court case is October 7th, where she has to renew her order for protection. Thomas, of course, broke into DeVille's home right before SummerSlam in 2020. Mandy Rose was visiting at the time, and the two were feuding with a hair match scheduled going into SummerSlam. Later, that turned into a loser leaves WWE match when DeVille's legal team advised that she wouldn't give the best impression if she showed up to court bald. Can't argue that. So now she's returned to television, but at least she's not wrestling, and I give her that. So she was forced to leave WWE, and they haven't mentioned the stipulation there, really, but like they should do. When she does, it should be between her and Mandy having another feud, and that gets her back into wrestling. I appreciate what they're going with, but her time in court with this stalker is far, far from over. So hopefully, I guess best case scenario, they could say that he's crazy and he just gets sentenced and sent to a psych ward for an indefinite amount of time until he gets the help he needs. I guess that's better than jail because he clearly seems unhinged, but either way, it's, straight up not great. Yeah, unfortunately, I was really sick last night. Saturday and Sunday were really, really tough on me this weekend, a lot due to the weather as well. So I didn't get to see Derailed yet in Sunday Night Gaming, unfortunately. I listened to Monetize This in bed. That's why I wasn't in the chat. But crazy night listening to all the chaos that happened with that wheel. My goodness. Daniel Bryan said he's not interested in a part-time deal with WWE, and he's not interested in a full-time backstage role with WWE. Basically, it sounds like he's done with WWE. He's no longer an active member of the WWE roster, and that includes his backstage responsibilities. He was apparently excelling as a creative team member, and he was learning many facets of how to deal with production. People were enjoying him, but he said this is something that he just learned to do in the meantime, but not something he wants to do going forward. It's just interesting that on Wrestling Observer Radio, Bryan Danielson, they said, might be working the Tokyo Dome show this month, if not for travel restrictions. So that's interesting to hear from Meltzer, and especially with his ties to New Japan. Of course, that was prior to New Japan shutting down their shows for a month due to their COVID-19 outbreak over there. So unfortunately, they're dealing with all of that. But I mean, WWE really is trying to put the pressure on Daniel Bryan. They want to keep him. They offered him an announcer spot. They offered him a creative spot. They offered him a producer spot. Basically, whatever he wants, he can have. Money's not really, an issue either. But we'll see what happens going forward. WWE also let us know that the 2021 SummerSlam pay-per-view will be Sunday, August 22nd, meaning that Boston is 100% out of the running now, seeing as how Boston will not be able to host fans until the 29th due to the interim mayor making it so that the opening is 3 weeks past delayed. Excuse me, I'm burched. So, unfortunately, no Boston this year. Maybe we'll get Survivor Series, something enjoyable, the Rumble. I don't know, but I just like to see all of you crazy bastards. But Boston's out of the running, so now we're hearing definitely looking like Phoenix or Texas. And that seems to line up with AEW's plans as they announced they're going back on the road as well. And AEW, they're now going live in front of fans. They haven't announced how many tickets they're selling or, exact amounts of anything at this point. But they did release a press conference earlier today It said, after safely hosting 27 live ticketed events throughout the past 9 months at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, AEW is bringing the excitement of its flagship show, AEW Dynamite, to Miami, Austin, and Dallas. So Wednesday, July 7th, they're going to the James L. Knight Center in Miami. Wednesday, July 14th, the HEB Center in Cedar Park, Texas. That's the greater Austin area. And Wednesday, July 21st, they're going to the Curtis Colwell Center in Garland, Texas. And that's in the greater Dallas area. If you are near there, and if you have tickets for a previous show, they will be honored. General tickets for these 3 shows will go on sale this Friday, May 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you guys are in the area, you want to go, you're vaccinated, even if you're not, but be safe, go ahead and think about going. It would be pretty cool to go ahead and go out there and enjoy this. The shows at the St. Louis Arena, I guess, or in St. Louis, has on June 23rd has been rescheduled now for Friday, November 5th, 2021. And then the show at the Uno Lakefront Arena in New Orleans has now been rescheduled to Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. So that's quite a ways away. They said Daly's Place will always be their home, and they'll still be doing shows in the interim there, but at least we're going ahead and getting them back on the road. So that's pretty cool as well. Becky Lynch has been spotted training. We know that she inked a new WWE contract. We heard about that earlier as well. So the man will be back anytime now. She sent up a photo saying charging into the weekend like, and you see her working out. It's not long now for her to actually make a full return to the company. So that'll be interesting to see if she goes back to Raw or what happens. No one's superior maybe in their heads. Yeah, exactly. We're all equal. But we'll see what happens, It's interesting, though. And then Paige is kind of warning people of con artists trying to screw over WWE fans. Shayna Baszler just went ahead and exposed the exact same scan. She said she's letting fans know that someone posing as Elizabeth Mika has been messaging fans posing as a different wrestlers' personal assistants. And the first ever WWE NXT Women's Champion wants to make it clear that she has no affiliation with this person. She's been messaging people, selling, merchandise and things like that, I guess, DMing people, and just wants people to know that this is not legitimate and to stay away. So if you see anybody trying to sell WWE merchandise as if they're someone official, they're not. Avoid them at all costs. And then Big Cass, apparently, even though he just debuted his W. Morrissey in Impact Wrestling, he's back in the ring, he's sober, he's doing well. Well, apparently he was dating Lexi Nair, so that's interesting to find out. Hey, good for him. I guess they're doing well. She's host of AEW's Outside the Ring, and he posted a photo of herself with Big Cass, and she said on her Twitter, play Can You Feel the Love Tonight, with him kind of like holding her in a little romantic dip. It's very cute. I like to see, Big Cass doing well. I missed him. I wish him and Enzo could be back together, but unfortunately that's not in the cards at this point. We were almost a Jill sandwich, but thankfully that's not the case. We'll stop with the Resident Evil quotes, but I don't know if Bad Bunny is going to be coming back any point in time soon. We'll see what happens there, but it is being said now that Humberto's injury is potentially very, very serious and could either be his hip or he could have torn something in his leg. I'm trying to see if there's any update in the interim, but we're trying to find out. If you guys see anything, go ahead and let me know. Joe will be back in a minute. We'll continue with the donations as well. Yeah, Damian Priest versus The Miz at WrestleMania Backlash ends up being a lumberjack match. Not thrilled with that decision. That's a bit odd, but we'll see what they end up doing with it going forward. Damn, push to talk. There we go. I apologize. So we're going to go ahead and see what's going on for the WWE Backlash event. We'll see as it goes ahead and goes forward. But the matches we have announced so far, obviously, is Bobby Lashley taking on Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. That triple threat, I'm imagining that Bobby Lashley retains. why would they have Drew win here when he would, go ahead and he could have just won at WrestleMania in front of fans? So I think Bobby retains. Braun gets pinned. No, I've not seen the updated. I only saw the initial overnight numbers. One, I've not seen the updated numbers for SmackDown this past Friday. Then we have Bianca Belair versus Bayley. So that's just a singles match for the SmackDown Women's title. I'm curious to see what will happen with this feud. We'll see what they do Friday, if they add any stipulations or whatnot. Then we have Rhea Ripley defending her title against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. This stinks of some type of dusty finish or Charlotte getting over. I certainly hope not. I don't want to see Charlotte win, but my God, it certainly could happen. Then we got the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, the SmackDown Tag
Dirty
Team.
Dogs, bro.
The Dirty Dogs going against Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. Roman Reigns is defending his title against Cesaro. Great SmackDown we had the other night. That was a lot of fun. You and I covering that before Corrupted. And then Damian Priest taking on The Miz in the Lumberjack match, as we mentioned earlier. So not a stellar night, but I'm sure the Roman and Cesaro match will be good, but Roman's not losing. So let's get back in and check out those hate points, Joe.
Well, it looks like we got 50 right now, but we'll see if the donos come up. My daughter was having some kind of a problem sleeping or something. So I was over talking to her. And now we're back. And
give her the Benadryl, and she'll be all set.
That's a good point.
Ryback is an idiot because he doesn't understand that nobody cares. Everybody would prefer him to be retired. It's amazing how Ricky Starks somehow is in a better position in wrestling than Ryback is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Ryback, unfortunately, like, I don't even have a problem with him potentially wrestling or something. He just Soundwave. I didn't love the guy. I thought WWE should have made him this bully guy. And he should have kept doing that thing where he beats people up, where he calls people that he bullies bullies. That was hilarious. That was when, like, they hit on something with that, and then they just stopped doing it. With what?
Who are you referring to?
Ryback. When he was like,
with Ryback,
I don't like bullies. Bullies.
Yeah, because just smashing people in the back. And like you said, he was like, I hate bullies. But these guys, he was being the bully, so it was,
it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. And he was slamming people through, catering and just random people. And then he was starting to pick on like the smaller talent, and it just worked for him.
He was awesome for like 5 weeks. It was like 5 weeks, Jake. It was like, that was it.
And then they just stopped it. And it was like, okay, but he still stayed a heel. He just didn't pick on anybody.
It was so dumb that it was awesome. Like, it was so, like, they should have just kept doing it. Like, he shows up to Raw, hey, could you park my car? And the guy's like, I'm not a valet. I'm just the parking lot attendant for the whatever.
That's funny. Did you just make fun of me because I have a disability?
And the guy's like, what? No. I was just saying I'm not allowed to park there. He just throws the guy through a fucking glass window or something. It's like, that stuff was stupidly funny, like just dumb humor. But it was like funny. Then nothing else was ever good. Nothing else was good.
It all went downhill from there. And DJ Smith said SmackDown did a 2.282. Wow.
What?
That's impressive. So excellent for SmackDown. They've been around at a 2 usually, but that's good. Back up from there. And long stroke, SmackDown was not good, but the review was. We had a lot of fun on the review afterwards, which led right into Corrupted. So if you're not on Patreon, go and check that out. We had a great time with Drew and a few other guests on Friday night, and then of course Saturday monetize this on its new night. So lot to listen to, a lot of content.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. Last week was cool. Don't know if I'll, I'm gonna do the SmackDown review again this week and see how it goes. I don't know if I'll keep doing it. But SmackDown review last week was all right, and then Corrupted was great. We had I mean, I don't know. Drew and everybody said that was our best Corrupted of the year, and I said, really? Wow, shit, people think that? So I guess
That's
that
good to hear.
worked out pretty good. And then monetize this.
He thought it was great. So
Yeah. I was like, oh wow. I mean, I thought it was one of the better ones, but I didn't know it was that people were that high on it. And monetize this was all right too. I thought monetize this was good. A lot of people thought that was one of the best ones of the year.
This was damn good.
Yeah. So like, it was a really good weekend. SmackDown review.
I'm glad people liked me being with Corrupted. That was good. I'm glad I was able to be there and people enjoyed the episode because we had so many, great talking points and so many great people on and everybody worked so well together. It was just funny. So it was great.
If only we get Jake again, man, that'd be great. Sign him up.
I'll be able to swing again this Friday. So
that was good stuff, man. It was a good show and fun stuff. John Cena doing the KKK symbol here. So that's cool.
Power promotion. So what would you give Raw out of 10 tonight? I mean, not just like being in an outright dick, but literally going through the matches. My favorite match was 4 minutes long.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing was the injury that happened.
Yeah, that was standout because it was the only like real moment because you could see the panic on their faces and then not knowing, the ref not knowing what to do, and then he called it off and. With everything there, that was like just chaotic. So it was interesting to see Sheamus continue to sell, even though he was definitely hurt as well. But like he oversold it to a perfect extent. At least he put Humberto over a little bit there and still looked strong. I don't like the Lucha House Party with this stupid Lucha Lit line now. That's even dumber than the Pinata stuff they were doing. But Cedric and Shelton stole the show in 4 minutes. The women's match with Rhea and Asuka could have been good, but I felt like it was ruined with Charlotte being out there and her constantly feeling like she was, more important on commentary than the match. It took away from everything. It was nice to see Rhea get the actual clean victory here, but it wasn't a great match because we saw better at Mania.
I want to give it a 3 out of 10. I almost want to give it a 2, but I guess I'm going to give it a 3. Something about the pacing tonight was like pretty decent for the first couple hours, and the third hour really dragged for me. Could have just been that I got tired, but
it wasn't even so much the third hour. It was once they got to the Damian Priest Morrison match because that was 13 minutes long, and you knew who was going to win, and you knew it was going to happen, and all of it was just like,
Lorenzo, monetize this audio is up. I don't know if you're not seeing it, but when you become
7 hours,
if you become a patron for $7. What happens is you haven't selected a tier. Even though you're $7, it should default you to $5, but it doesn't. You have to physically go in and select the $5 tier. So I always recommend just become a $5 one or a $10 one or something, and then you'll see everything. But for some reason, after you become a patron, you then have to select a tier. And if you don't select a tier on top of being in a tier, then you don't see certain posts. It's ridiculous, but it still goes on. So maybe you didn't see the audio got uploaded. It's 7 hours long. Monetize this. It's up on Patreon now. So yeah, it is there. Just check out Patreon, man. It's weird. I uploaded it way earlier today. I'm surprised that you didn't see it, but it could be that you didn't get the alert too, or the whatever. I put 2 posts up about it actually on there. So let me know if you see that. But yeah, let's drop the rest of the donos here. See if there's any more hate points. So far, last week's Raw was more hated. I will say that so far. Last week was 112. This week we're at 50 hate points. I mean, last week was more hated.
More to hate last week.
Maybe. Thank you, Soundwave, earlier. Soundwave 92.
You've seen the crazy shit going on in Jerusalem between Israel and Palestine? Israel trying to take over their land and evict Palestinians from homes. Israel police raided a mosque throwing flash grenades at protesters. Also, Israel bombed Gaza Strip, killed 20 PPA.
So, in other words, it's what's been going on over there for the last, thousands of years. Right? I mean, it's awful. Yeah. That's why I hate, these fucking people fighting over religion shit. But it's been going on forever out there. It's so crazy. My God's dick was buried here. You get out of here. It's so they're crazy over there. I mean, everywhere. But I mean, that war's been going on forever. It's that shit's never gonna end, man. All because we can't agree on religion. You know, it's so stupid. What a waste of humanity. So it's terrible, man. I mean, it's terrible. It's all over the world. There's something terrible going on everywhere. You know, so you really can't argue with that. Maybe we'll play the audio on the show this week of the flip out. I heard Dave Meltzer ripped his ass apart shoving Kenny Omega's dolls up his. That's weird. It's a little strange. But that being said, man, there's a little bit to talk about throughout the week. Wednesday night's the AEW review. Like Jake said, Thursday night Out of Nowhere, potentially. I'm working on thinking about what to do with Out of Nowhere. I'm not sure yet.
What's going to happen.
Out of Nowhere, we might do it, and then I might just, I don't know. We might do one more.
Patreon. We'll see what happens. We'll see how, if you guys want Out of Nowhere to stay, if you like Joe and I and the news format and getting all the news that way and opinions and previews of pay-per-views and you don't want it to go away, then tell everybody to tune in this Thursday. Make it the best Out of Nowhere possible if you want it to stick around.
Hell yeah. Show up for Out of Nowhere, guys.
I'm going to be defending my Out of Nowhere championship. That's right.
Look at that. But that's it, man. I think I said all I wanted to say about this show. It was very bad tonight. Didn't even think we'd be on the air this long talking about it because it was just that piss poor and devoid of anything interesting. Really, seriously.
It really was. There was just nothing to it, sadly. And this is the go-home for the pay-per-view, and they did nothing to make the championship match with Bobby look interesting. They made Bobby look ridiculous.
You're
a
champion, Bobby. You're in my corner, Bobby.
Why build Braun now? What do you get out of building Braun? He's not going to win. If they do have Braun win, then that's the dumbest decision they've ever made.
Do you think they're building Jinder, though, to face Drew?
I would say so, and that's a good decision. Have the 3MB rivalry that a lot of people have that as like a dream match scenario, and I could see why it would have a lot of weight and dramatic tension behind it with their history. So yeah, that would be great. Let Jinder keep building and building and building and getting all these wins with the two big guys by his side. Fuck, why not?
Oh shit!
I was asleep. I give Raw 500 hate points.
Oh my God, E-Murder. Well, you can only give 10 points because you did $10, but hey, the sentiment is there. I get it. What's up, E-Murder? E-Murder. He woke up from his slumber from Raw. What's up, E-Murder?
I wonder if they'll do the 3MB thing with Heath being out. Like they won't bring up the Shield really with Moxley being elsewhere and prevalent still. So
right.
But hey, what are you gonna do? We'll see. It certainly is a great angle, though.
The new Shield.
Another thing that writes itself. It's funny that they were supposed to initially be like the Shield. They were supposed to be the Shield, and then they turned them into a comedy gimmick because of the injury that they had. Drew was injured, and then I believe Heath was then injured afterwards, something like that. And that got them sidelined, so then they made the Shield into the Shield instead of 3MB.
Pretty funny.
Pretty funny how like that one injury screwed up there. But I think the way that they turned out was better than how expected. So.
Oh my God, Jake! You know what just came out? Spoilers for WWE main event tapings.
Ooh.
Oh no. Should we read the spoilers for WWE main event?
I think we need to.
No. That could be funny, but nah. Fuck it. Forget this.
Fozzy is headlining the first annual Jacksonville Taco Festival.
What?
That's what Mr. Pico Boulevard said. And I honestly,
Dude.
July 17th. I believe it. I actually, looking into it.
They better have some bathroom stalls near that place.
I think it's legit, but.
Can you imagine the amount of fucking shitting and farts and stuff that are going on at that thing? Taco Festival? I mean, first of all...
Yeah, this is true. Chris Jericho's band Fozzy to headline Jacksonville Taco Festival.
Awesome.
If you want to buy a ticket, click here. How much do you think tickets are?
How many people get COVID? I'm going to say to the Taco Festival, it's like $11 or something.
Ooh, so close. $10. Now, what if you want a VIP seat with tacos and margaritas? How much are those tickets?
Tacos and margaritas. I'm going to say that is $59.99.
$49.99.
God,
so
what is this?
So close, Joe.
I'm
so
picking the
close.
weirdest numbers too. I'm going weird. Like, what do you think it is? $11 instead of $10. What do you think it is? Oh, instead of $49.99, it's $59.99. Like, what am I doing?
It's like the Testicle Festival, yes, Drew, but it's not as fun.
Oh my
and no one
God!
wants to listen to Fozzy, anyways. All you're gonna hear is Judas open and close.
Yeah.
I heard they played Judas twice for a couple of their sets because that's all the audience cared about.
Really? You know what they should do is
It's like Guns N' Roses only playing Welcome to the Jungle, you know?
That's very interesting that they would play it again.
Yeah, because they did it as an encore. They opened with it and then they did it as an encore. People were chanting it over and over and over at the end. So.
That's not a bad idea. Like, because then you give them what they want twice. Like,
people were happy.
Like, because people don't expect that. They're like, okay, they played Judas. Yeah, here we go. Let's go. And then it's over. And then they're hearing other songs. And half of the audience are real Fozzy fans. So they're like, I love these songs. Great. But the other half is like, no.
There's a taco enthusiast, and the other third likes margaritas.
Dude, I love tacos. And I love, oh my God.
My favorite food is tacos. Like, even Taco Bell.
And margaritas too, dude. Like, that's one of my favorite drinks, dude. It's fucking Jimmy Buffett's Paradise going on here. Or Margaritaville.
Margaritaville, baby.
Let's go. Like, maybe Fozzy could cover a Jimmy Buffett song.
No, that would be interesting.
That'd be pretty freaking cool.
Cheeseburgers in Paradise, you know?
And it's like rock, though. It's like, cheeseburger in paradise. Heaven on earth and on your side. Like Jericho, like, doing it really good.
Side project where he's covering Kiss songs, like obscure Kiss songs, like the 80s speed metal Kiss, where they were like doing like not screamo version of Kiss, but remember when they were doing like that thrash metal Kiss? Where it was like very like fast picking and maybe so he's got a cover band of Kiss, but they're
hardcore
disc.
Dude,
you know, I forget which album that was, but it was early on. And
I just found out that the Killers covered Jimmy Buffett, so Fozzy could do it.
Oh, Fozzy could definitely do it, but
when did the Killers release a Jimmy Buffett cover?
I don't know.
Let's see what this sounds like.
Buffett. I'm curious.
Oh no, it's very serious. It's not like.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, it's very serious. I thought they were gonna like rip into fucking Pirate Looks of 40 like crazy. Like, here's a metal cover of Buffett. Listen. Oh, this sounds terrible. Wow, man, the covers of Jimmy Buffett are not good. Let me tell you, Jericho. Chris, can you please?
You want to cover him?
That's it. Let's make a video right now. Chris Jericho, what's going on, Jericho? You're at this big taco festival is going down. Jericho, Fozzy is playing at this gigantic taco festival. What's it called, Jake? Hit me with the name again. Oh wait, we gotta. Oh fuck, I gotta re-record now. Hang on a minute. Let's listen to this dono first.
Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend.
Say hello to my chocolate.
What was your opinion on the AU final match botch?
Wait, is he talking about from last Dynamite? Where Blood and Guts? Where that wasn't a botch, it just looked bad. We'll talk
it wasn't really a botch, it was just a bad camera angle. And the fact that he's saying that, he's going to land on concrete. And I forget which podcast I was listening to. It was either Cornette or Wrestling Observer, but they were saying from a fan sent in a letter about his daughter watching the match. She's 6 and she was like really frightened by the blood and the violence. Like it was getting to her. And the dad's like, I probably shouldn't have let her watch it, but I was enjoying seeing a visceral reaction from my daughter, you know, and she was like thinking everything was real.
Oh my God, dude, what a psycho.
And then Jericho went through the boxes.
Yeah.
Or went through the crash pad, and the daughter looked at the father and said, well, at least he landed on all those soft boxes. So even a 6-year-old knew that Jericho was okay.
God. Well, listen, we gotta tweet this to Jericho. We're live on the Joe Cronin Show. We still have hundreds of people in here. It's a good time. What's the name of the taco festival, Jake? You remember?
Jacksonville Taco Festival at the TIA Bank Field.
Jericho,
July 17th.
I just looked it up. Dude. I love tacos. Who doesn't love tacos, right? And who doesn't love margaritas and Jimmy Buffett. Jericho, there are no good covers of Jimmy Buffett that are rock covers. You need to cover a Jimmy Buffett song. I don't know if it's Margaritaville or like Cheeseburger in Paradise. Something, man. You got to whip out a couple of Jimmy Buffett covers at the goddamn Taco Festival because it's going to be friggin' fire. Jake, do you have any other?
Why don't we get drunk or Son of a Sailor or Little Miss Magic? Come on, there's got to be Trip Around the Sun. That's a new one.
Something's got to be good, and they'll be liquored up on margaritas and shitting every. People are going to be taking shits like in the street because they're going to be eating tacos.
Captain and the Kid.
Okay, that'd be good. And I think I'm telling you, this will go over well. I know shit a little bit. I have a GED, but I know some things, and this will be fucking fire. Okay, imagine Jericho. Come on, cheeseburger! He's just fucking free. He's eating a fucking cheese. Well, fuck that. He's eating a taco. Taco in Paradise.
Monday? We didn't mention Come Monday. That's like one of his biggest songs.
I love Come. That's great. But I'm telling you, Taco in Paradise. Change the name. It's not Cheeseburger in Taco in Paradise.
Say you're going to come on Monday after you leave the Taco Festival because you're so full.
We got to text this. We're going to tweet this to Jericho. It's got to get thousands of views. I'm telling you, at the Taco Festival, Jericho, guys, don't miss this. What state is this happening in? They better go out Louisiana or something. I don't know where it's happening, but look up the Taco Festival, buy tickets, and Jericho's going to be drunk. It's going to be crazy. So we're going to tweet that out because that's the best promo ever, and we have to get the word to Jericho to cover a Jimmy Buffett song. It's got to be done, and I want to see it on YouTube. I better see it on YouTube. There we go. Chris Jericho must cover a Jimmy Buffett song at the Taco Festival or whatever the fuck it is. It must be done. Thousands of Joe Cronin show fans agree. So let's go ahead and tweet that out. We're going to try to get full support behind that tweet. I'm talking about we need hundreds of likes. We need hundreds of retweets. We need fucking thousands of them at Jericho. He must play a Jimmy Buffett song. And I want credit. I want Jericho to be like, this next song's for Joe Cronin show. Jimmy Buffett, baby! And he just fucking boom. Like they just nail it. And everyone's eating tacos and margaritas and shitting. It's fucking great. Dude, I want to be down there.
I just don't want the deal.
Oh, it's Jacksonville. Have a taco in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. This is great.
They can get everybody from Daly's place, and, they can have the wrestlers be in the front row to still sing Judas for
Listen
Jericho.
to this. Here, something like this, Jericho. Whip this up for me, okay? Tried to amend my Mexican habits. I made it nearly 70 minutes. I losing weight without speeding sunflower seeds. Drinking lots of carrot juice and soaking up rain. Might have these wonderful dreams. Some kind of taco dream. Not bananas or cheeseburgers or hot dogs, please. But that juicy Mexican delight makes me queef. Taco in Jacksonville. Margaritas, everyone, it's a thrill. Come on, you can do it, Jared. You can do it. But, do it metal. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. And he's eating a fucking taco. And he's got one of those fucking shirts that I love, those douchebag fucking Hawaiian shirts. And he's eating it, and tacos dripping all over him. And he's drinking margaritas, and he's fucking drinking lots of alcohol. And it's just crazy. And then Jericho is so drunk, he's tonguing his guitar player like Marilyn Manson inappropriately. Oh, God. I want to be there so bad. Jacksonville, you lucky sons of bitches. Buenos noches, taco. And
there's no, at that point in time, the mask mandate will be over. So
that's a good point.
Because, just like in Virginia, June 15th, there'll no longer be social distancing of any kind, D. Welsh was saying, and masks are dropped by the end of June.
Uh-huh.
In Florida, I think it's even before then. So,
oh, yeah, they don't give a fuck.
I think it's already even done in some spots. So I don't know all the specifics, but
well, it's one of those things like. There really isn't an analogy, I guess, but it's sort of like, I guess they sort of like ran through the fire so they could come out the other side quicker. If that makes any sense, like you know what I'm saying? Like because there's two different theories. There's, people Republican and then there's Democrat, and typically there's two different theories. The Democrats lean more towards caution and precaution and safety, and well, in their minds, right? And the Republicans lean towards more like, fuck this. Take a fucking chance. Freedom. Who cares? And it's so like, it's just interesting to see because everybody got the corona, but everybody got it in a different way because of the way that they responded. It's very interesting. It's like in Massachusetts, it was like, we had some high spurts, but then we also had a lot of like high-ish but straight away it's the same for a long time, whereas Florida had these crazy fucking like, like it's like way higher than anyone ever for a while, but now it's like lower because they already all got it, so they got it over with in a way. It's weird. It's like, would you like to be stabbed like 7,000 times with a needle in the arm? Or would you like to grab a fucking knife and just go boom like one time in your arm? That's like what Florida decided, just stab us once. Massachusetts is like, nah, we want the fucking like
bricks.
And Florida said, no, we'll take the fucking knife to the gut and just fucking keep moving.
Pico's got facts. He knows that tacos kill COVID. So
unbelievable. It's
not the taco, it's the flatulence that comes from the taco.
That probably spreads it, because they said that spreads it, but probably what kills it is that taco when they burn the shit out of it, and then you eat it when it's too hot and it goes in your throat and kills all the COVID hanging around in your throat.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. COVID. And then you shit out like clean shit. It's not, there's no COVID in your asshole.
Yeah, the flatulence air relief team, good old fart boys. We got this. Extra sour cream and throw on some cheddar.
I heard weed helps a little bit. I mean, I don't know. We heard a lot of things, haven't we? Like, you could literally grab onto any little tidbit of anything that you heard or whatever, right? And you could just fucking completely rally around it. It's crazy. So yeah, we don't know.
There's more asymptomatic people dealing with issues now, months later down the road.
Here's the weird thing, right? Like here's the thing. Think about this. Like think about this, everybody, right? What are the long-term side effects from the COVID shot? But also, think about this. What are the long-term side effects from COVID?
Exactly. Which is worse?
I don't know. That's what's crazy. What's it going to be? We don't really know, right? But like, you could get COVID and be like, oh yeah, dude, I got that shit. It lasted 5 days. My body was like, fuck this, we got it. But then you don't realize that some kind of cell damage happened somewhere in your body. That's happening.
You can't have kids anymore, or 3 months later, your kidneys shut down, or your lungs produce that.
Same thing with the flu. Same thing with the COVID shot. Maybe you get the COVID shot, everything seems all right. Bell's palsy in 5 years, or something happened. So like,
thankfully, everybody that's got Bell's palsy, it's reversed, and people that got blood clots didn't die, so that's why they pulled that whole shot, the Johnson & Johnson.
I think 7 people did die.
No, the 7 people got the blood clots.
No, 7 people died. Pretty sure 7 didn't 7 people die? Pretty sure 7 people died.
You might be right, but there was only 5,000 out of the 77 million.
It was a small amount of people, but it happened.
There was only 5,000 people that got COVID after getting vaccinated, so they're considering, that's a good number.
But my point isn't to take a political side and try to say that to you all. My point is that we don't know, so it's interesting to like, what do you want to gamble with? Do you want to gamble with the new mystery disease that could turn your organs into shit in 7 years and we don't know about what it does? Or that it's mutated in you somehow and you don't even know yet because we haven't studied it enough? Or do you want to take the thing that goes in your arm with the RNA that we've never really experimented on before? You are the human guinea pig, literally. So which one, what risk do you want to take? Like, it's Because a lot of people would say, well, I'd rather take COVID because I know my body will kill it and I'm strong. I don't need that. I agree. But what if you get these lingering symptoms that like 15% of people who suffer like that get severe COVID like deal with afterwards? So I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm not saying I know the answer. I have no idea. I haven't gotten the shot yet. Not because I believe I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I'm not like a super vaxxer either. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to do, and I'm frozen. I'm literally frozen, Jake, where I don't know what to do. My wife's got it, my mother's got it.
I already got my first shot. I would get it, and
Drew has it.
They're doing things, the MLB's already doing it where you want to see that live. You got to have a vaccination, and that's part of how the conversation started. As I said, I was arguing with my brother-in-law yesterday because, Hershey, Pennsylvania, that park, might discuss doing vaccinations. Same thing with Disney. Nothing's set in stone, but you don't know what's going to happen going forward. He's like, oh, that's a lawsuit. I'm like, no, it's not, because if it was a grocery store or a pharmacy that you can't get into, a necessity, yeah. But you want to go to a park or a MLB game, that's a extra, curricular event. That's not a necessity. That's a want. So that's not a need. You don't need those things to live. So you don't have to go to the amusement park. You don't have to go to the show. You don't have to go to the sports game. And it's their decision to do that. They're a private establishment. They can just say that, hey, if you're not vaccinated, you can't enter. That's their choice. Would they lose business? Probably, but at what risk, at what cost? Now they could be positive that everybody that enters is vaccinated, so now they definitely don't have to have anybody wear masks. So that makes it more safe for everyone.
That's the other interesting thing is the people that
does that mean you can have a higher attendance rate? You can go back to 100% if they're all vaccinated. Like, what are the benefits? And
would you rather wear a mask or make sure everybody's vaccinated? I don't know.
Exactly. So what are the now you're hearing Fauci say that masks will go away and they'll only be seasonal. Things change constantly. The only thing I see for a death here is 2 weeks ago, Quebec reports blood clot death in woman who received AstraZeneca vaccine. And then 4 days ago, Edmonton woman who died of the vaccine-induced blood clot was turned away from the ER, friends say. So she went to receive help in Canada.
You definitely don't want the AstraZeneca, the one that's not good.
But I don't see... I no evidence that recent blood clot deaths were due to COVID vaccine. That's from the TGA, but still, the point is that out of all of it, it was like 7 total out of 77 or 80 million vaccinations in the United States. I don't know about what's going on for Canada, but out of that, there were 5,400 people that got COVID from those almost 80 million vaccinated. So that's really good numbers, and they're showing that it protects from this latest strain too. So that's good.
I'd like to be Fauci for a second and just tell everybody masks don't help. And now I'd like to say you should absolutely wear a mask. And now I'd like to say you should actually, if you can, wear 2 masks. And now I'd like to say 3 masks would really be something we should look at doing. And now I'd like to say you don't need 3, just maybe think about 2. So I just want to be Fauci for a second and say 0, 1, 2, 3, 2.
Well, he said initially they never wanted to tell people that not to wear masks, but they were afraid of shortages.
Mm-hmm. And which we said that literally at the time. The day that Fauci said you don't need masks, I said on my show, he knows they're out of masks. That's why he's saying this. So I don't blame him. But he did lie to you.
He did lie though, but
he lied. He lied to protect the doctors and nurses, which I appreciate that in a way. But I think Drew had it the best. Drew said it the best a couple days ago when we talked about the same thing. Drew was like,
yeah, he had a good take.
It was like, oh, yes, it will help you, but right now our doctors and stuff really are the ones that need them. You don't. But again, then all these people would be buying, not regular people like you and me, but the people would be buying them up, and it would have been crazy. And it was crazy. So luckily I had a biohazard.
You couldn't find toilet paper anywhere. Imagine how the masks would have been initially. And we saw that later on. There was a shortage already, and then it became an issue.
Who's the best? Who's the best WWE superstar, Jake, right now? Who's the best guy? Behind the Cage, thank you for subbing to the channel, Behind the Cage. What's going on?
Shouldn't be that hard to answer.
I can't believe you haven't said it yet.
For Raw or in general?
Just all of WWE. Who's the number one
I would
guy?
probably say Roman Reigns is the top right now.
I agree.
He's probably the biggest star. For Raw, I would say Drew.
Yeah, but I mean, who's like it's crazy too because I was cheering for Drew a couple of years ago, and I was like, I hate Roman. Like, oh my God, do I hate Roman? But ever since they made Roman heel and have this new character, now Roman's interesting a little bit. I mean, I don't know how much longer it can go, but
yeah, SmackDown, the best stuff was the Roman stuff, the bloodline and everything. It's unfortunate.
I'm not interested in Drew at all right now.
Yeah, Drew, I don't know why they didn't have him win the title in front of fans at Mania. That blows my mind. I don't get it. And that they had Rhea Ripley win, but they had her as a heel. She was cheered like a face there, but apparently she's been a heel the entire time. I don't really think she's been booked like a heel, but she's been teaming with them, so fuck out of this nonsense.
All I get out of Rhea Ripley is she does this goofy smiling thing, and like I
like her entrance. I like the stomp with the pyro. I mean, she looks great. She's a really good talent wrestler. But like you said, I don't like the smile thing, and that's been awkward. And her current look is not my favorite. I like some of the other looks she's had, especially in NXT earlier on. But this one with the really short hair and the black lipstick, it makes her mouth look gigantic.
She looks like the Joker or something. But no, I don't mind. I don't even care about that. I just don't get it. I don't get anything right now.
Her character just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, she does the same thing that Keith Lee did. Don't you know who I am? Like, it's that look. That's the same look. That's exactly what it is. Don't you know who I am?
You just know me at this point. That's what it is. Yeah, exactly. You should just know me.
Yep. That's exactly it. Rhea Ripley and Keith Lee, it's the same thing. The smile, like...
It's the NXT booking, especially because that's how they were treated. They were treated like top stars in NXT, and everyone praised them and loved them. And then they come up to the main roster, and they're like, wait, what? You don't know me? You don't know who I am?
You know how cool I am? Like, yeah, it's like, stop that.
Yes, Pico.
Bring a person up, and then, like, tell the people who they are, because it doesn't make sense. They don't know who they are. Like 60% of the people watching the show don't know who these people are. And everybody else that do know who they are, it's like you still have to kind of start over a little bit. And I just don't get it. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't care what they're doing. It's the same thing with everybody. We can just keep saying what we say is the same thing. Because what else? It's the same. We're reviewing the same thing every week.
That's the problem with Raw. And yeah, Pico, Fozzy has a lot of shows coming up, and he's never usually written off. He finds a way to do it or pre-tape. He might be gone in the month of September. We never know if they have something planned, but he still finds a way to do his obligations. So he's usually set it up where wherever he's touring, he's close enough to getting back to Dynamite. So, but that's the same thing with WWE though. Right now, they're not getting anywhere. Everything's on repeat. Everything's boring. It's just disappointing. Usually Mania is the end of every feud, or you're starting in, most new ones. And there's one or two usually that carries over, but they're usually either the top feud, or it's a new mid-card like kind of thing that only just started before Mania, like a tag title or a U.S. title. But for the most part, all of the feuds wrap up. You get the backlash, you get it out of the way, you're done. With this, it's just never ending. It's the same fucking thing. Time in, time out. It feels like a chore to watch. I guarantee you're going to see record lows again, 1.68, 1.69. You know what I want to see? Chelsea Green. She wants to model for Playboy. Let's see that.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
You do.
Make her do the crazy bride gimmick again, too, while she goes ahead and poses for Playboy. Sign me up.
Sign us up for Chelsea Green's tits, guys. We're out of here, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Share this video out everywhere. And more importantly, though, get on Twitter and get that Jericho tweet going. Did it even upload for me? Where is it? Oh, I tweeted at Jericho, so it's not showing up. All right, I just retweeted it now, guys. I just retweeted. Guys, everybody's job right now is to hit Twitter and retweet the fuck out of this. Retweet the fuck out of this and like it and just fucking go crazy. I want Jericho playing a Jimmy Buffett song in full rock or metal style. He doesn't have to dedicate it to Joe Cronin, but goddamn would that be sweet. But I hope he eats a taco as he poops it out his bum in Jacksonville. Let's go. Retweet this shit. Let's go. Tweet this to Jericho. We're live on the Joe Cronin Show. We still have hundreds of people in here. It's a good time. What's the name of the taco festival, Jake? You remember?
Jacksonville Taco Festival at the TIA Bank Field.
Jericho,
July 17th.
I just looked it up. Dude. I love tacos. Who doesn't love tacos, right? And gotta love how Joe asked Jake a question. Then once I get an answer, interrupt the right. Okay, I got it. Just bowl over. We're out of here, guys. Good night. And check out my Patreon, man. Support the show. Shout out to the producers. Cody Mastro, Skittles, Alan Stober, Shell, Luis Antonio Alejandro, J-Man from KC, Colonel Stutters, Jerome Spicer, Kevin Murphy, Cold Brew Crew, Stevie-O, Dwayne Crenshaw, Joseph Lightsey, Extreme Shaft, Dakota McGrew, he's a new one, Sith Negan, the longest and biggest, Nikki J, Garguts Entertainment, Chad LaFave, ADTR 210, Drew Bar 100, CJ Rella, Matt Rossmeyer, Alex O'Donnell, SOCOM Castle, Jason Tarr is back, Jeremy Brooks, JD Venom, he's a real long-running guy, and Stars Scream, baby. Thank you guys for going above and beyond as $25 producers. If anybody else wants to sign up, I will add you to this list immediately. Think about doing it for some clout, for some love, for some support, or just because you like the show. And also, you can be part of then the round table as we get all the producers who want to be part of it once or twice a month. And we sit here and we talk about how the shows have been, what's been going on, ideas, our lives, or your channels or your things, whatever. All in a fun little like Harvey Levin on TMZ style hangout chat. It's coming up. Thanks so much. Good night. Man, I'd fuck Jimmy Buffett.